Hey everybody, it's Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru, with some very, very exciting news about a video that you are going to love, a video that will quite possibly transform your business. Last Thursday, I had the pleasure of interviewing the CEO of one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. The CEO is my longtime friend and business partner, Bobby DeRocco, and Bobby's company made the Inc. 500 this year, which is quite an honor and very exciting. I actually announced last week that I would go out and record about a 35 to 40-minute interview, and I would break it into my usual 7 to 10-minute segments for Newsletter Guru TV, and it would be a series that would roll out over the coming 3 to 4 weeks. Something very special and actually magical happened. Bobby and I both saw the edited video earlier this morning. We both jumped on the phone and said, "This is too powerful. This is too good to hold for 3 to 4 weeks. We should release it all at one time." And so what we're going to do, on my end anyway, this episode of the Inc. 500, the extended interview, is going to be this week's episode of Put the Hammer Down for Maximum Growth. This 35-minute, 40-minute interview, Bobby originally told me he'd have 8 nuggets. Well, here's what happened. 2 entrepreneurs got in the room. Bobby's had explosive growth. Last year, I doubled the size of my company. This year, I'm up 25%. All this is happening in a very down economy. So what happened is when we got in the room and we started going, the scripts went out the window, and we chatted. And when we saw the edited video, there, I think the last count was 27 or 28 actual business building nuggets that you can use. What Bobby and I decided is we are going to ask you a favor. We're going to release this interview in its entirety right now. You're about to see it, but we're going to ask you a favor. We both know several entrepreneurs and small business owners that aren't doing quite well in this economy, but this video, the ideas that we shared in this video can absolutely help them grow. We want to ask you a favor. Would you help us make this video go viral? You are part of probably Facebook groups or Twitter groups. You're probably part of some business associations. Maybe you're part of a chamber of commerce. You in some way are connected with other business owners, other entrepreneurs. We would like it very much if you would share this video. So if you're watching it on Facebook, you can hit the share button. If you're watching the interview on Newsletter Guru TV, hit the share button and share it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Basically, we know that small business owners are the engine that's going to drive this economy out of the ditch. Small business owners are the people who create the jobs, all right? So please help us. You're going to love this interview. What I want you to do is get a pad and paper and get ready, because you are going to see and you're going to hear about some amazing business growth strategies that will absolutely work in your business. All right? Help us make this video go viral. And now here comes the edited version, what's already the new episode of Newsletter Guru TV, and this is actually episode 3 of Put the Hammer Down for Maximum Growth. This is Jim Palmer, and I hope you enjoy the video. Take care, everybody. Welcome to Newsletter Guru TV, your show with a boatload of smart marketing and business building advice, and a little fun along the way.
This episode of Newsletter Guru TV is brought to you by No Hassle Newsletters, the secret to getting boatloads of more profitable repeat business and the customer referrals you deserve.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Palmer coming to you from beautiful Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, the home of the Amish and these beautiful rolling countrysides and farms and horses and buggies. It's also the home of Synapse Marketing Solutions, the company founded and CEO'd by my good buddy Bobby DeRocco. He just made the Inc. 500, and we're going to go do a very special interview with Bobby. Bobby's company's grown an amazing 853%, and I'm going to ask him to share with all of the entrepreneurs and small business owners that watch Newsletter Guru TV exactly how he did that. There's going to be several nuggets you're going to be able to pull out of this interview. Let's go to Bobby's office. Come on. Hey everybody, it's Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru, here in the corporate offices of Synapse Marketing Solutions. My good buddy Bobby DeRocco is the founder and CEO. You know, when I teased this interview that I was going to interview a CEO on the Inc. 500, it really wasn't a hard thing. We've been best friends for, what, nine years or so, something like that. And in full disclosure, Bobby and I are actually partners on a few different business ventures, and Bobby's company and his outstanding team of support personnel, and Tracy and Richie and the whole gang, they are the back end to our concierge print and mail on demand service. So now you know why my business is growing, because I'm partnered with some good people. So Bobby, I told everybody 858% growth in 3 years. That's pretty outstanding. Congratulations, first of all, on that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Proud and really happy for you. Now, the people, I should let everybody know that this is not your typical 7 to 9 minute video. This is going to be a very special, we're just going to go back and forth because, you know, Bobby, the people that watch Newsletter Guru TV, they're entrepreneurs and small business owners, and when I called Bobby up and told him, you know, I'd love to interview you, you know, what do you think you can share that can help people, especially in this economy? It's kind of hurting out there. He told me he's got at least 8 nuggets that you can use to move your business forward. So he's going to do some sharing. So Bobby, I think, first of all, if you could give maybe a snapshot of how your company started and you know, where it is today.
Well, first, Jim, when we started in 2007, we mainly focused on print management services. So large corporation could come to us for all of their printing needs. And we did quite a bit of publication, printing, direct mail, things like that.
And you also you do books, you do magazines.
Absolutely.
Bobby prints all my books. He's going to be printing my new one, The Fastest Way to Higher Profits. You print all of our newsletters, anything.
Direct mail pieces, marketing collateral, I mean, anything.
So that's how it all got started.
That's how it all got started. And things had been going very well in the printing industry around that time, but as the economy started to suffer and companies started to pull down their marketing budgets, we obviously had to stay in tune with that and then change over time. Today, printing is still a major part of our business, but it's not the biggest part of the business anymore. In 2009, we added an interactive department to build websites, email campaigns, mobile applications, anything that any kind of technology that could be done on the web. And then we added a great design team, design staff, and some really good marketers. And over time, we've really grown into a full-service integrated marketing firm.
You know, one of the things I always talk about, in fact, I end every episode, find ways to add more value to what it is that you're offering your customers. And actually in the book, The Fastest Way to Higher Profits, I talked about Bobby, and I basically said he's the epitome of a self-made man. And one of the reasons I think, because I've watched your company grow, is that you continuously look for ways to add more value. So yeah, you started out as a printer, but then, you know, as you said, there's on-demand, there's video, there's interactive websites, there's mobile technology. And in a time when this economy is hurting so much and a lot of printers are really struggling, kind of biting their nails where their next job is, how many people have you hired just in the last year?
We've grown our employee count by about 10, and we have 5 more that we're adding. And 4 years ago, in fact, coming up shortly is our 4th year anniversary. In 4 years, we went from me and 1 other employee to me and 30 other employees. So it's been great. Obviously, I'm proud of the fact that small businesses create most of the jobs in this country, and it's been a great thing. Kind of getting back to your original point, the key to our growth has been listening to our clients. We never developed a service here at Synapse without actually having a need for it. And I feel very fortunate as CEO. My job is to make sure that we're servicing our clients first and foremost. So I was always face-to-face with my clientele or on the phone or listening to what they needed. And over time, every time there was an opportunity, I said, okay, how can we serve this client? How can we add this to our portfolio? There's been times, Jim, where we said, yeah, we can do it, and then came back to this office and said, okay,
how do we do it?
How are we going to do it? So I think as an entrepreneur, that's been the key to how I've developed.
Yeah, I want to share something, maybe put you on the spot a little bit,
Sure.
It's a good teaching moment. I'm always telling people you want to, you know, I talk about massive action, getting a lot done,
right.
And one of the struggles I see some business owners have is they feel like they need to do it all. They know best, and they're going to do it all. And one of the things I admire about you is that you're not afraid to delegate everything except what your really strong suit is, and that's interacting with customers. You're the creative guy behind the company. But a lot of people struggle letting go. And you know, there was a time, probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where you struggled. You were kind of the CEO managing the business,
That's right.
but yet your strength was out there working with your clients and being creative and developing new products, new programs, and suddenly you were managing staff.
That's right.
And you hated it. I mean, you didn't like
They
it, right?
hated it.
And they hated it. And one of the smartest things Bobby did is he hired a president of his company, right? And so now somebody else deals with the employees and the training and the hiring, and somebody else deals with the finance and all this other stuff. And in the last year and a half, since Bobby got back to his strength, the core strength that he brings to the business, which is creativity, sales, the guy's a rainmaker like I've never seen before, right? And now he's doing what he does best. He's concentrating on high revenue, high value tasks. So that's one big nugget. That may not even be on your list, but I want to make sure we point that out.
No, it is. I mean, we always took the mindset in recent years of how can Bobby add the most value to the organization, because, you know, I do have a strong sales background, and I am the beginning of the strategy when we work with our clients. My team has been, you know, invaluable in that process because, number one, we hired people to fill in areas where I wasn't as strong or areas that they wanted to take off my plate. And then my team is very cognizant of the fact that it's my job every day to bring in revenue and my place in the company and how that affects them and their families, just like everything that they do, how it affects the other people on the team. So they've been very good about protecting my time, making sure I'm only doing the things that are necessary, those high value-added activities.
So even, you know, I coach a lot of entrepreneurs,
Yes,
and
let me stop. Jim's mastermind. I was Jim's first mastermind client, and Jim's been providing me advice for years and years, and that certainly is one of the reasons why we're in this magazine today. Without outside advice from someone who knows you and can give it to you straight, I mean, that's one of the keys to any successful business.
And you know, one of the things that Bobby and I do, even though we're both very busy and we're both growing businesses, we make sure that we find time at least once a month to get together for a strategy breakfast or a strategy lunch. We tell each other what's going on in our businesses, what our challenges are, and then we brainstorm. So whether you are in an official mastermind group or whether you have an official coach, which you should, you know, you want to make sure you're at least working with another entrepreneur, somebody creative, because in all likelihood, your spouse, your friends, they don't get it. So that's a really valuable point. You know, let's start to transition into some of the nuggets.
Okay.
We could go on for a couple hours,
Sure.
but I want to try and keep this to maybe 45 minutes or so. So
Okay.
you had a couple nuggets you wanted to share with our viewers.
I do. I mean, I think a good segue into this is, again, that focus on the right thing, Jim. You know, not only for me as the entrepreneur, I always focused on bringing in revenue and how to better support our clients. Marketing has always been the #1 priority for this company. We figured that we wouldn't have any operational issues, no financial issues, no other issues at all if we didn't have the clientele and the sales to prop those issues up. So, you know, nothing starts without sales, and we always kept that focus on how can we better serve our clients. And, you know, in the beginning, obviously, you know, you're watching every penny, you're worried about revenue, you're worried about sort of the secondary symptoms of what happens when you create revenue and create sales. And really, the main point of that is just focus on bringing solutions to your customers. Don't focus on how much you're going to make from each solution.
Right.
Don't focus initially on that. Focus on how can I deliver the best value, and everything else falls in line.
Value with world-class service, which is something
Exactly.
else your company does really well.
Exactly. I mean, it was interesting because we actually had a potential client come to us the other day, and when we met with this prospective client on the first interview, so to speak, they said, you know, we talked to a competitor of yours just yesterday, and they said, oh, you guys are going to meet with Synapse. We know they have really, really great service. My goal with servicing our clients was never to be the best in our industry. My goal was always be the best partner, regardless, across the board, that client would see any day of their business life. And so we tried to be the best no matter if they were working with another marketing firm, if they were working with an insurance agency, whomever they work with, we wanted to be the best.
Which is all about client retention, which
Absolutely.
you focus on a lot. And by the way, I got to share an inside baseball thing. You know, Bobby prints all my books, so when he got a hold of Stick Like Glue and it came out, he said, Jim, how much are you going to charge me? I want to make sure all my employees get a copy and read it, right?
We did. We
So-
did. We sent it around. We made sure that